Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club.
Blast off in your
Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
The Breakfast Club, the world's most dangerous morning show. Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee. Now we got a legend in the building. A man who has defied, defied time, right?
And odds.
And odds, yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, 49 years old.
Yeah. But let's introduce him. Bernard Hopkins.
Yes,
The alien.
The alien.
Used to be the
executioner. Why'd you change your name from executioner to the alien?
Well, I changed it because people are asking how and how long that I'm going to do what I do on this level, top level. Uh-huh. And I had to come up with a new twist to answer those questions, and that was, I'm an alien. I'm not a part of the norm of athletes fighting or playing ball or whatever, and they done by 35 or they written off by 35. And I wanted to come up with a new spin to it and say, hey, I gotta drop the executioner and become the alien. I started a lot of buzz. Of course, I was advised to see a couple of doctors thinking that way, but we had some fun with it, and people really grabbed it to have fun with it, but also realize that if I'm not what I say I am, then explain
why you keep going.
I'm doing it, and then that starts a dialogue. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's basically changing the brand or adding on to the brand to let them understand that. Well, how can I be an alien? Eat right, take care of your body, duck more punches than you take. Right. All these little things that I start saying, I'm gonna have fun with this. That's how people come up with ideas and become what they become, whether it's financial, whether it's their legacy. And that's what I said to myself, laying in the bed, getting ready for a good run the next day. And I said, listen, the media, you're 49, you'll be 50 January 15th of 2015. How long you gonna do it? They telling me how they feel. Mm-hmm. Why I'm not feeling the way they feel. I said, well, I took care of myself. I invested in myself, and I'm getting the interest of that good investment. And that's what y'all see. And so I'm staying away from, I'm that good because I'm great, I'm the best I ever did it, blah, blah, blah. My talent is superb. I left that alone because they'll take that a little bit, like a argued debate. So I left that alone and said, look, there's a lot of ingredients that got me where I became and where I'm at. And that's why I'm the alien.
I'm glad you said that, man, because I feel like human beings, we put so much value on things that have age except for ourselves. Like aged wine is great, aged cheese is great, antique cars, but with us, we act like we get worse with time. You're supposed to get better with age.
But you know how, and I agree, the trickery or the technology of everything is old is good. It's old. I'm not eating no old cheese. I don't care. You tell me it's 50, 100 years old. We get this fancy, we get a little money, and this cheese is 100 years old, and you going to eat it. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. When you was broke, something was old, you threw it in the trash.
Yeah,
you ain't eat it. Oh, that's spoiled. That's bad. But now, the reverse psychology is that, it's planted to think that things that's been aged and set and nurtured and all that, yeah, some things, not all, okay, you can buy that. That old vintage car I like. That 66 Lincoln suicide doors, long boat. I like that. Yeah. You understand? That can't be messed with. But I look at myself as that, not old, but I look at it as that vintage. I look at it as that wine that's been marinated and left alone. And now you see the rewards of my discipline. As we talked about many years, I almost got 3 decades in this business. I ain't stuttering. You understand what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, and I'm not bragging about that. What I'm saying is I could be 5 years from now, I could be 10 years from now, because this is a sport I risk to put my health in jeopardy. But in the same token, I understand that every decade or century or whatever, you get those people that comes amongst us, right? Whether it's civil rights, whether people, soldiers, whether it's athletes, whether it's whoever, and politicians or in politics, they shine amongst the norm, or the average rather, not the norm, but the average, and they stand out. And some will ridicule or try to, and some will try to support and lift, because when you're different and you do things different, you look strange amongst normal people.
So you are going to fight one more fight, I was reading. Well, is that the plan? Or
only if the plan is I do. Right, to answer the question short, but there's a lot to come with that plan, because it has to be right, and it ain't the check first. It was when I was younger. It was when I was in the middle of my boxing career in age. But I'm not fighting for free, obviously, because I work not to. So it has to be the right opponent. It has to be a dangerous opponent where you be like, man, this dude just fought this Russian who's bigger, stronger, and 18 years younger, and then he's taking on this monster. But that's just my character.
But why, though? Like, you don't have anything to prove.
Well, I always have something to prove until I die. Maybe not in the ring, per se, and I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
But I want to make my ending in boxing on my terms, right? Not at arrogant terms. On my terms, because we dictate, humans, even though I say I'm the alien, but I'm going to be a human for a minute. We want to dictate when your time is up on this station. You got people that want you out of the game years ago. You didn't listen to that, obviously, because you're here, 2014.
True.
Longevity. Doing something right, and the ratings are making a quota.
Number one, yes.
Number one. That's the business part. So I feel like, man, I sit back and been hearing what you came, why, and this and that was legitimate, because I really don't need to prove nothing. 10 years ago in boxing.
True.
The middleweight division was my legacy.
11 years, you were the champion.
12.
12, okay.
Right? 20 defenses.
Gotcha.
Right? Could have sat back and been in Hall of Fame after 5 years of retirement. Right? Eligibility. But I didn't listen to some that said, you're done, you're this, you've done everything, this, and this, they try to con you out that way. Yo, come on, MV, you've done everything, man, you're great, man, people know you, want you to just go and you're still taking and you go. And they say, oh, we got him out of the way, and then we move somebody else, and they do it in the music business. I sign you, shelf you, and I pump this guy. I know how I go. So when I'm
Charlamagne. MV's not here. We moved him out the way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But he was talking about that earlier out there. But,
Yeah.
but anyway, listen, I got an excuse. I boxed 27 years, so I get y'all mixed up. But that's always my excuse when I'm wrong. But listen, this is something that I always is passionate about, is that anyone that's listening, or will listen to this, is that you know your limits, but don't make limits on yourself until you reach the sincere limits that you feel that you can accomplish, and let time prove you're wrong. And let that failure be something that say, okay, maybe this ain't for me. Maybe not the first time you fail, maybe not the second time. Depending on how passionate about getting off that canvas and still trying to win that round.
But is it really failure? Because nobody can beat Father Time. So is it really failure if your age eventually does catch up with you in the ring?
Yeah.
Because you lost your last fight. A lot of people said, oh, maybe age is finally catching up with him. Yeah. Maybe you're not a failure. It's just that you can't beat Father Time.
In a brutal sport like boxing, it's very physical. That is something that your body is constantly.
The guy didn't knock you out. You lasted the whole fight.
Yeah, but I don't. But see, my thing is, and all this stuff is coming legit from person looking out, looking in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fight not to get knocked out. I fight to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ahead of the game on both fronts, and y'all all will agree with that. And that's basically what y'all saying. Mm-hmm. But in the same token, when I leave the game, when I will leave next year, 2015, when I turn 50, January 15th, King's Day, 1965. I was special the day I was born, even though I didn't know it, until I had to get out of the penitentiary and then walk off 9 years of parole without a parking ticket and became who I became. I already beat the odds and became champion when I gave all the years back without a violation in the crack era of America called 88 to 95. Mm-hmm. If you in New York City, all 5 boroughs, y'all know what I'm talking about, even though I'm up the street in Philadelphia. And I use the word street in Philadelphia. We right up the street. I was told what I can't do, what I couldn't do was impossible for multiple years. I'm not in a battle with Father Time because the time that I've existed and lasted this long only became relevant or to fruition is because the same mentality that I have is what I had coming out of that situation. And so I look at all this to ask myself, do I have anything to prove? No. But do I want to leave on my terms because I was told that I wouldn't be nothing, that I would die before 18, and I lived that role. Or I was just as disciplined in the street. And my reputation, and like most street people reputation, they will follow them no matter if they come a sports figure or not, because don't live and think the same, but I haven't became Hollywood over the years, and that's why I can deal and talk to, whether it's corporate America or whether it's the people on the streets that I come from and understand that mentality. So I have 2 degrees. And those 2 degrees will always be used in dialogue and also when I'm challenged to see how intelligent or lack of I am. I realize that I've been told what time you should be able to do this and what time you shouldn't be able to do this, and accomplishments. That has been the fire in the fireplace that keep us warm.
Right.
And I realize that I'm not in a battle with Father Time. Time in the streets of any neighborhood in America is undefeated. Mm-hmm. The greatest hustlers out of New York, the greatest hustlers in Philly, they say gangsters, I agree. The streets eventually will get you. Streets is undefeated like time.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm not in battle. You like that concept? I'm not in battle with time. Listen, I'm not in battle. I ain't reading no script. Anybody that's going to listen to this tape recorder later, I'm going off the cuff.
Well, it's on video. They see it.
Well, good. That's even better. I'm not in competition with Father Time. Father Time is undefeated. Boom. Okay. The streets is undefeated. You're going to get caught. You're going to die. You're going to get killed. That's the streets. If you're doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing. I'm not preaching. Do what you need to do, what you think, but you won't beat the streets. That's proven. But on my terms, my way, as Frank Sinatra, one of the greatest songs that I played in a couple of my fights with my friend, entrepreneur Artie Rabin, my terms can't be used or wouldn't be used for any person that just want to use a song. You have to have credibility to say you did it on your terms. So when I'm told that time can't be defeated, why are you fighting this monster Kovalev when everybody else wants to run away from him, which they did, Stevenson? Mm-hmm. That's been me, going against all the odds. I won a championship when I walked off 9 years of parole in a crack society, and I wanted to get money and have the nice things like everybody else can relate to when they listen to this and see this. It's like, yo, like you overcame, like who's going to be foolish to tell you what you can't do no matter if you're 70 or 60, whatever you do, in the ring, out of the ring. And I already started with Golden Boy Promotion. We got 10 years in and got 90% of the fighters locked in under contract and doing right by them, so we won't become those who would despise who you might mention from the past, who might be in the present. And so we come across now as legitimate credibility amongst future Hall of Famers. Oscar's already in the Hall. I will be in the Hall once I say I'm done, and I will be done soon. But I want to leave on my terms, and it will be a celebration. It won't be like it won't be like Max Kellerman said, and he said, Bernard, do this mean that you're done? Why would I cheat myself and say on national TV after all this hard work, personal life, and then this life, and I mended together and I became who I came, and I'm going to be short-minded and just say, yeah, I'm done. I would not give them that benefit. But what I will do, when I do get out, and I will, because nothing lasts forever, not even life. I'm no fool. I didn't get here being a fool. So my whole thing is what? When I do my fight, win, lose, or draw, with a big name fighter that I can't mention because I don't want him to ask for another $2-3 million to get in the ring for me. That's a business thinking. But what I want to say is this. Whatever group, rap group, rock group, R&B, soul, gospel, anyone, man or woman that's listening to this will say if they get a chance to see, if they ever get a chance to see their favorite group one last time, even if it's the Beatles, before they pull the curtains down, then come and see me when that time is mentioned and that date is mentioned. I want to fight, and I will fight a meaningful fight, win, lose, or draw for a championship. It will be, not because I'm so obsessed with belts. I got 18. I'm in my trophy case in Delaware. So my whole thing is you be able to see that group, that rap group, that entertainer one last time, no matter how old you are. If you can go back and find one group or solo singers, anything that you want to see or wish you could one more time, but they're not around, and you wish if I can see it one more time, I can see that group. Oh man, it's a classic, it's a legend. You are amongst the living legend that's well respected on a respectful side in the game, and you know what? We should take it not for granted that this will happen every 5 years or 2 years, because who knows, in sports, all sports, which I became the oldest fighter or champion that achieved what I achieved. If you have the opportunity to see that one more time in life, that person or that group, I'll say enjoy it while you can, because who knows in our lifetime, your lifetime, that you will see that again. And that's important to not take that for granted.
I figured out what drives you. The fact that you overcame all the odds in the street. You overcame the real shit. So why wouldn't you be able to overcome this?
This is work to put in, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's when I became champion. I'm not expecting nobody to understand it. Yes, I'm passionate about it. That's why I stay grounded and humble. I didn't get caught up in this life, which is seemed to be good, the smoke and the glass and the glitter. What I did is say to myself, I stayed grounded. That doesn't mean I have to hood-minded. That doesn't mean I got to pull my jeans down and show my underwear and walk that. So what, I'm getting money? I don't have to keep it real that way. I'm a grown man. Take off your jersey and put a button down on.
Right.
So my whole thing is, when you understand that concept and you get the rubbing elbows and you off that block that you thought was the world of the world, and you get to traveling as far as China, every bio of America, city to city, here to here, and you got the dialogue with different people, whether they Muslim, they Jewish, whether they this or that, and you got the rub elbows with people that got money to make you look like you homeless. This is the things that I absorb as a sponge. Yes, I'm vocal and I'm talking now, but I do let people get theirs in, especially if I feel that they're worthy to be listened to. I don't listen to nonsense. So I sit back and I say to myself, when people tell me what I can't do, they sound like that warden when I walked out with my box in my hand in 1988.
I told you you'll be back.
And you heard it. It's been publicized all around for years. You'll be back. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, okay. But they was right most of the time in my life. Mm-hmm. I never could stay out of the jail cell. Or police would see me and say, we'll get him Friday.
Wow.
I mean, literally.
Wow.
Up in Germantown, in Philadelphia, right above North Philly, Meek Mills, all them young bulls, all around that area, North Philly, all that Beanie Siegel, all them. And listen, the police used to see me and walk right past and look, stop. Sometimes I run, we get him Friday.
He'll be right here.
Where I'm gonna go? Yeah. I ain't got no money. I'm in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna run like a gerbil until they say, let's go get him now.
Yeah.
Now, nowadays, for you as a partner in Golden Boy, do you decide your own purse?
Y'all gave me a lot of patience. Just let me run off like that on you.
Nah, we love it. We love when the guests come and they got a story to tell.
No, listen.
We feel the same way about you. We'll listen to you. Yeah. Because you got something to say.
I'm listening.
Yes, Golden Boy and
how does that work? Do you say
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you give yourself your own purse? Like, who determines that? Is that you saying, all right, I'm going to pay myself this much for this fight against this person? Because I was reading about your last fight, and he said, usually as a boxer, you get to keep about 25% of the money that you get paid, because you got to pay management, or less. You got to pay everybody. You got to pay taxes on it and everything. So for you, when you fight, who decides that? Do you say, I'm going to pay myself this amount of money?
I love that question. I love her. Listen, I pay myself realistically on the market that's there. Now, you're paying yourself, okay, you can't pay yourself $10 million and you know that the business, no matter where the resources come from. See, when I got churned out in the business being ignorant, and then I realized I had to learn the business, resources come from foreign sales, resources come from marketing of merchandise, resources come from, the first big check is a license fee. The license fee is like having a concert, and you need to have it at a place that can hold, say, 10, 15, 18,000 people. Mm-hmm. To bring that show there, you negotiate with the venue.
Right.
The venue gives up a check, right? Mm-hmm. The networks gives up a check, whether it's Showtime or HBO.
Or pay-per-view, too.
It's called license fee. Pay-per-view is based on you risking your talent, the promoter risking his fighter's talent and the promotion to back it up, that you should spend $70 or how many dollars you spend for Floyd Mayweather or anybody fight. That's how they make their money when you buy the fight. There's a risk in pay-per-view. Why? Because you don't get the upfront guaranteed money.
Right.
HBO and Showtime, regular fights that's not pay-per-view, the promoter negotiate with those networks on a license fee. That's the first check that you get when you got TV involved in your business of promoting fights. That's why promoters have became lazy. Why? Because back in the day, you had to hustle as a promoter. You had to go out and promote the fight, spend money on a fight to get people in the venue. But when the networks became involved in the boxing in the last 25 or 30 years, that big check, the promoter basically show up at a press conference, right? Because the network's going to put out their film guys. They're going to put out their 24/7 guys to follow you. They're going to put the posters up. They're going to put the billboards up, which mine's all on 95 from Delaware to Philadelphia to tri-state area. So the promoters now don't have to risk their money, and they don't have to go out there and hustle like they used to when they had to be flat-footed on the streets, hitting with flyers, handing them out. And that's the good and bad part about the motivation of having a fighter, signing a fighter, and then saying to networks, I got the number one contender, I need a check. And then they sit down and watch what happens, and then it goes on and on and on over the years and years and years and years. So the promoters, most, not all, became lazy because the networks now have given checks where they don't have to promote. They got the money already.
Now,
if I pay you before you come here, you'll think some days like, wait a minute.
I'm good.
I ain't coming in today. I'm good.
Are you interested in seeing a Pacquiao-Mayweather fight?
And how close are we to seeing that? Because I heard Oscar De La Hoya from Golden Boy Promotions said
everybody
he'll put up whatever. Is it close?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Why not?
It's a lot of. I don't think it's going to happen because of one dislike for one. Bob Arum is the promoter of Pacquiao, and Floyd and Bob Arum is well known and publicized. I'm not breaking no news.
Floyd said
might hate each other.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? And that word hate is strong, but I'm going to go as that far, and somebody will correct me later, and I don't care if they do. But the bottom line is, people say it's too much money not to fight. Well, it's hard really to convince a person of both sides about why they shouldn't fight because of money when you already have it. See, a hungry man can't really understand and relate to a person with a full stomach.
Right.
Vice versa. So when you're in a predicament where you don't need, or a prediction where you don't need the money, no matter how big it seems to us, right? When you have what you have and you cool, you can respond different than when you say don't have. And so that's one. Do he need Pacquiao? Do Pacquiao need Floyd more? Yeah, Pacquiao needs Floyd more than Floyd needs Pacquiao. That's a problem too. See, all these are leverage. Leverage that is on Floyd's side. And even if you look at the knockout that Pacquiao with Marquez, that's diminished the hype even more.
Right.
But do people want to see it, fight fans, and market behind it and pump it up? Yeah. But should it happen 3 or 4 years ago? Absolutely.
Who you think would win?
Floyd.
Easily.
Yep. Not easily. No, because Pacquiao's style, and I'm not going to, well, I can say style makes fight and leave it alone, but it's bigger than that. Pacquiao will make Floyd earn that victory. My fight with Sergey, I didn't win, but he earned it. He had to earn it.
Yeah.
See, losing is losing, winning is winning. But when you make a guy earn it, whether side you fall on, loss or win, you know that he had to earn that. I ain't give you nothing. You had to earn that. And let other people say, man, he was 49 years old. This guy, man, knocking out everybody he fought. And this 49-year-old man, and you almost had him in the 10th, you buzzed him. I'm not on a moral victory type of dude. I'm telling people I didn't win. They said, you did? This guy's supposed to just, don't you understand? People thought this was going to be the one that just slay you. Okay, I didn't win. But you inspired me. You 49, dude. Don't you know nobody, unless they doing something or taking something, you 49 years old rumbling with these dudes you ain't got to rumble. That speaks about character, about people or team or anybody else.
So a moral victory is not a victory?
No.
Right.
No. Because I teach my kids, and I got 2 young babies and a 16-year-old next year.
Wow.
And my whole thing is, my whole thing is, when you go into any job and you go in there and think you should be rewarded because you put an effort behind coming to work, getting on a mic, dealing with the issues and the hot topics, yo, you got to be twice as better or 10 times better than what else out there that's doing the same thing that you doing or got the same job that you doing. I'm a fighter. It's multiple fighters out there. You do what you do. It's multiple stations and competitors trying to get your customers, man. So that means that you got to be on your game every day. You got to train like a fighter when you come in here. Right. If you don't, when the ratings go down, you're going to have somebody calling you saying, or coming here and saying, yo, dig this. We all
replaceable, absolutely.
We all replaceable. So my whole thing is, when I take those concepts of the fundamentals of life, the foundation that I realized and sort of got a whiff of, I've been churned out ever since. I understand that everything I do, I'm just as passionate, serious as I am down in the ring that I'm in on the streets. And that's why I had to walk off that time, and that's why I haven't been back under anybody's institution, only to speak and talk, in 27 years, man. So that means that I got it, B, understand that I'm not going to be a hustle or retirement plan for somebody keeping me in prison for $70,000 or $100,000 a year and putting people to work. So my ignorance is not going to employ you. That's another political conversation. But I understood these things. When I went there ignorant. Understanding, I want to play basketball and go in the boxing gym. These guys in the library and the law clinic. My whole thing is, why these old dudes in the law clinic? They trying to find a loophole to get out. Y'all young boys walking around talking about what y'all used to do, but y'all got 15 to 30, 50 to 100 years. Don't you understand? Y'all gonna get tired of playing ball? Your knees are gonna start hurting 30 years in there.
Right.
So what I did is took the hustle, like any hustler to come into business, and then they CEOs. Y'all know who I'm talking about, everybody. It's not just one. And you come in here first being pimped, and then you realize that, wait a minute, I want to own my own label. I want to own my own rights. I want to do my own thing. So now you're starting to dig into the other situation. There's going to be some resistance, but if you hold fast like everybody don't do, and you get there now, you look like a smart guy, you look like, and you are, and you look like this hero, and you now have a following audience saying, man, I want to be like that dude. I'm inspired by a lot of dudes, man. I'm inspired by Russell Simmons. Of course, everybody inspired, well, not everybody, but some people might hate, some people might. I'm inspired by Jay-Z. I'm inspired by the crossover. I'm inspired by 50 Cent. I'm inspired by a lot of people. Michael Strahan. I'm the football player. You know who that is.
Absolutely.
I'm inspired by a lot of people that has done something.
Why do you feel like
that really didn't have to do, but they didn't want to be in that stereotype box, right, and being just a fighter, just a football player, just a rapper. That's what we need to do. Magic Johnson.
But you're a promoter and boxer, though.
I'm a promoter, boxing, been my manager since 1995.
Wow.
My whole career is damn near. So these are things that people really don't know. They sit back, think I'm blowing off steam, just running my mouth. I said, don't you understand? I came in this business being told by the biggest power brokers in boxing, like if you're the biggest music shot caller, I'm going to manage it myself. I ain't had no powerful golden boy team behind me.
Right.
I was Bernard Hopkins, Wild 41, 45, saying, I know what's going on in this thing. I'm going to manage myself. I'm not going to get 25 or 30% off like you just said. I'm going to fight. And the resistance said, no, we got to stop this slave. He want to read so he can teach the other ones how to read.
Yeah.
See, I took you back to the 30s.
Yeah.
Right? So, no, we got to slay him. And by them coming against me, I use that as motivation to never get off point in training, never get off point in my focus. And I came across the range and upset and never satisfied of them. That's how they try to paint that picture. See, first is a character assassination first, and then most people are followers to listen to what they read and hear, and they will move out on that. Most people don't want to take that chance and risk themselves. They rather see if you get through that door, and then I'm coming, or I'm with you.
Yeah.
But they ain't with you for the cause, they're with you because.
Now, you once said that you would be more celebrated if you were white. Like, people would celebrate
That was
you.
recent.
Yeah, people would celebrate you more.
No, I said this. I was asked a question on ESPN, right? That's what you're probably talking about. And the question started off like most questions, your life is amazing. I said, okay, thank you. Why haven't anything, book, producer, movie, Hollywood, you got an inspiring story. Look at the energy, look how you speak. Look how you look. I'm 55 years old and I'm envy of you. You have no stomach. Your skin is great. You have no cuts. You're talking, I mean, come on. I mean, you've been boxing almost 3 decades. Like, have anybody come to you and say that we want to tell your life story? In social or corporate America, I said no. He said, why? I said, well, I'm not the athlete, the man, the drama package they need. He said, oh, elaborate on that. I said, well, take everything I've done, the same deeds, the same trouble, the same adversity. And I said, call me Bernard Hopkins, Stern, or Steen. Or Rosenthal, or Sobrano. And I started going Italian. I went this culture. I went that culture. Other than black, some say African American. He said, He said, why you say that? Elaborate. I said, okay. He want me to try to dig another hole. He thinks. I said, well, I just mentioned these last names. What do you think? And I threw it back at him. We can play with the head. I'm great. Come on. You tell me. And I threw it back at him. If I was any of these names that you mentioned, I would have every rabbi protesting at the fights. I would have every top official at each culture that I just mentioned, from Italian to Irish to Jewish to every commission, would be saying, this man, it'd be billboards all in Times Square. He's 40-something years old. He broke Foreman's record. He set his own record. He's not on drugs in a culture that we live in now where you got to question if a baseball player is splitting a ball in half. This man hit that ball so hard it blew up. Something is wrong. This guy is preaching what he's talked about many years and is manifesting, and we're using age as he shouldn't be doing it because he's age. You're defining me by a number. But he's been telling y'all this when he came out, how he lived and how he's been, and now it's manifesting because y'all put age as a death sentence. To most people it is, but to him, he's different. He told y'all that. Pull the tape back when it was VCR, when it was VH1 tapes. So I asked him to tell me what he suggests I should do and what he think, if I'm not right about race, plays a part in everything in life. You seen the march yesterday? I did. I was out there. Didn't march, but I was just taking pictures. So I put it on him. You tell me. You're telling me, trying to get me roused up to tell me that, mess with my ego, that I'm this, I'm that, and then you slide in. I understand it. And I said, you answer. You tell me. If I was white, with the same deeds, the same accomplishments, you tell me. And I start mentioning these names. I said, I'll be bigger than Obama right now if I was any other than black. See, I'd be a fool to say because I don't get these things I'm black. They say, then you can point out the sneaker deals, you can put out the athletes. I don't have no merit, no argument. But when I put it the way I put it just now to you, put it this way to you and everybody else, and they got a chance to explain the other piece that most people didn't hear or see or read, they be like, oh, okay, I understand. At least you get to look at it both ways, and that's all I ask. And everything I say and do, if you read the sound, if you hear the clip of One Piece and you hear the other, you'd be like, okay, I'm a person that wants you to debate about those two things to debate about. And so, shut him down. Bernard, there got to be something wrong. I said, yeah, but if I run the light, if I get caught with a prostitute 3 in the morning.
Front page news, baby.
Front page news, especially if she white. I'll be the Bill Cosby.
2 guys from Philly.
I'll be, but listen, I'll be the boxer Bill Cosby.
Right.
But when you're too clean, Bernard. What do you're not doing what we need? Ignorance. We need you to have your pants down.
But your past is ignorant, though. Your past.
Yeah. Well, and some never get out of that.
Yeah.
See, I understood the big picture. I said to myself a long time ago, yo, man, Allahi, I lost my first fight as a pro in the Resorts Casino in Atlantic City in 1988 to Clinton Mitchell. I remember that like it was yesterday, and I ain't like that feeling. I heard the warden when I lost. Somehow, everything I challenged, whether it's relationship, whether it's my own creation of problems, whether it's this or whether it's that, whether it's a challenge, whether it's a fight, whether it's negotiating, whether it's real estate, buying a building, 20 units, whatever it is, I always say to myself, you got to remember that warden. Because people will say quickly, forget the past. The past is over. You where you at. You got millions. You living great. You fine. But you all don't understand. Until you die and leave and get out the race of life, the fight is always going to be something different. And I'm not saying fight in a way you got to, because you'll burn out. Mm-hmm. I'm saying in a situation that is always going to be something that you're going to have to deal with. You either deal with it recklessly or you deal with it with calm and patience. And sometimes you do have to raise your voice.
Right.
And sometimes you do have to go ahead and hold firm. But it takes a strong mind, which I have a great strong mental capacity to be able to say to myself, you know what? I got to go back to my survival mood. I got to go back to what got me here. Nothing rattles Bernard Hopkins. Nothing rattles me. That doesn't mean I don't have feelings. It doesn't mean that I don't get in a quiet place and say, I'm going to figure this out. Oh, man, I really screwed up. Everything, I feel that, well, anything that's broken, I believe in time fixes it. In some cases, you can fix it now or tomorrow or whenever. And so I'm off that philosophy. You know what I mean? That until I'm actually not breathing no more, mm-hmm. I always have a chance.
Let's leave it there, man.
All right. And tomorrow, HBO Boxing in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Now let's talk about 2 days that went by. Let's talk about tomorrow in Brooklyn. HBO After Dark. You know what I mean? Rosado, you know, I'm from Philadelphia. Tough. Listen, don't let the 8 losses. This is going to be a shootout. Fool you. But it's going to be a great fight in Brooklyn. And New York is great fight fans. Boxing After Dark. Tickets, not a lot, but they're still available. So go get the tickets. They are coming. And coming to see it from the tri-state area. And you know what? The good thing is, you know, you'll see fights that you'll be able to grow up with some of the undercard fighters that's really amateur stars that's trying to replace the future stars that's pros or all them pros that's at they peak right now. And so a changeover like anything in life. Mm-hmm. You have what's now, the present, and then you have the upcoming. You know, in basketball, they call them rookies. They take the veteran spot as time go on. So we have a lot of talent, raw talent. That
getting on the ground floor.
From New York. Right. So HBO After Dark, Barclays Center, Barclays, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to be there, and a few other celebrity boxers will be there, and we're going to have a fun time. And again, 2015, Golden Boy Promotion. I kicked it off with fighting Sergey.
And your final fight next year?
I'm calling out every fighter to fight the best fighters in their division to bring respect and credibility in a sport that I love and a lot of other people love, to see the best fight the best. You like to see the best fight the best. I like to see the best fight the best, whether it's Pacquiao and Floyd, whether it's this guy or that guy, whoever it is. All promoters should think this way, and we will bring the respect and credibility back into boxing for mainstream America, and we will bring it back to the fans when we want to ask them to spend $70 for pay-per-view, give them something to say why they should rush home and buy the fight of any fight in the future that we do as Golden Boy or any other promoter do. Support it if it's right. Don't support it if it's not.
Mr. Hopkins, thank you for coming, my brother. Very inspiring.
Thank you.
Very inspiring. It's The Breakfast Club.